All right, Mr. Taliaferro TV, how's everybody doing out there? I just want to give you guys a heads up. There is a game diss record in the direction of Joe Budden and his fiance Cyn Santana on the way. All right, I'm just throwing it out there in the atmosphere. In the same record, so we talked about this on my platform a couple days ago. Remember that snippet the game had where he's allegedly talking about sleeping with Kim Kardashian? You know, he said he grabbed her by the throat and made her choke, whatever, all those bars, and how he had some sort of a relation with Kylie Jenner and she made him cereal or some shit. In that same record, there is a jab at Joe Budden and his wife, or again, I think fiance. Congratulations to them, Cyn Santana. So here's what I know, and y'all can take my word for this. Y'all put my integrity on the line with this one. Y'all got my word that I'm not lying to y'all or anything. Y'all know I don't play those games with y'all, and I don't do it for clickbait. So apparently the game had sexual relations with Cyn Santana before Joe Budden, and he aired it out in a record. And he's talking about what he did with Cyn Santana, and it gets to the point where he even says, if you don't believe him, he says, I got tapes. All right. Now, I guess a lot of you guys are going to ask, where is this coming from? It's the same place that the Kanye West jab came from. Nowhere. It came out of nowhere. He's clearly airing out all his sexual escapades because he wants to, and he's using it for clickbait. I ain't mad at the game. Do whatever you want. Some people are going to call it corny. Some are not. I'm reserving my opinion. I don't have any perspective in this. I'm just giving y'all the news. All I know is the game is going to diss whenever this record drops on this new album that I believe has got to be coming before April. Apparently it's close to finish. This one record, though, he's talking about all his sexual escapades. And remember, I think he hopped on his Instagram the other morning and said, this hip hop, right? When we get so sensitive, he's talking about the sex he's had in his past with some very prominent women in the industry. And one of those women will be Joe Budden's fiance, Cyn Santana. And Joe knows about the record. He's actually going to talk about it on his podcast that's coming out. Joe knows about the record. You know, he took some jabs back at the game, but he acknowledged, you know, only so much he can do because he don't rap anymore. Somebody asked me, why is the game coming at Joe? Like I said earlier, I think it's just something that sparks clicks, and Joe's a hot name right now. And to be honest with you, a lot of rappers bring up Joe Budden's name because he is a media personality, a very popular media personality. You know, if you're a rapper, right, and you got some new music, or you go around your friends or whatever, you kicking it in the studio, and your friends be like, yeah, they were talking about that on Joe Budden podcast. They were talking about you on Joe Budden, and now this rapper's like, wait, what? And then when you realize how much culturally relevant this podcast is, Joe Budden's podcast is doing 1 million views a week. I'm just telling y'all, 2 times a week. It's doing a lot of numbers right now, you know? And these rappers feel away. And especially because he's one of their own. That's like the athlete that goes in the broadcast after his playing days are over and now becomes very critical of an athlete that's playing. They're like, yo, you were in the field with us. How you gonna be critical of us? You know our lifestyle and what it takes to be an MC or a rapper or whatever, and have a career. So with Joe Budden being Media Joe, people are going to take shots at him. That's been a rollout for like the last calendar year. Ever since his everyday struggle, it's been a rollout to take a jab at Joe when you got an album coming out, especially with the game. It looks like apparently he got some real content on Joe. He slept with his fiance before they were together, right? So in all aspects, I get why this is happening. Also, the game and Joe did have a beef at one point. They did drop diss records at each other, if I'm not mistaken. Hell, they even did music together, if I'm not mistaken, back in the day. It was a long time ago. But again, people are going to be like, yo, where is this coming from? We're in the era where people got to find ways to sell records, and stuff like this sells. Those streams that this is going to do the first day that it's released is probably going to help the game's album sales. A lot of people are going to be like, he doesn't need to do stuff like this. We're just in a different era nowadays. I'm reserving my right to call it corny or not. I ain't going to say nothing. I'm going to wait till the music drops. But there is a record that, this is real. The game said he slept with Cyn Santana, and he clearly brought that up to ruffle some feathers. Joe's aware of it, and it should be dropping soon. And then from what I was told, the game is rolling with this record. People around him are telling him, don't drop this record, because you're impacting lives. He said he's not only dropping the record, he says if anybody comes out and denies it, he is releasing a sex tape he has with not only Cyn Santana, but it looks like he got one with the Kardashians as well, and some other sexual escapades that he's had in his lifetime. Oh man, what y'all think about this? Y'all talk to me in the comment box below. Y'all think this is corny or not, what the game is doing for an album rollout, or is people being too sensitive? This hip hop, anything goes. What y'all think in the comment box below? I'm out. I came from nothing, but I want everything God has for me. I interview celebrities. I talk sports. I still represent the culture.
I got the kids. You are now tuned in.
Yeah, we locked in right now, Mr.
TALIAFERRO. Mr. TALIAFERRO. Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Mr. TALIAFERRO.
Shout out to Mr. TALIAFERRO.
You're watching Mr. TALIAFERRO TV.
Mr. TALIAFERRO TV. Here with the triple B's, you can't do nothing but win.